Hello, how are you? Hopefully you're having a very good time, and this is in again continue our applied practice series Excels for beginner, where we take the knowledge from my experience, which is no theory at all, and these to make you excel in Excel. So I already have covered the two Excel lectures, lecture 1 and lecture 2. I suggest before you watching this, if you are new to Excel and you don't have any idea, you can go and watch that lecture 1 and 2, right? But if you have some basic knowledge, at least I'll suggest you to watch even like a fast pace, but go and skim that lectures. It will really helps you to strengthen your knowledge, and of course I bet you will learn something new there. Okay, so what is the for agenda? I'm very excited for today's agenda because this is the 90% of the time you will be using these features, right? What are these features? I have write it down because there are so many. How to import data into Excel, right? And then remove duplicates. I show you different ways to remove the duplicates in from our data, whether from one column, multiple columns, and combination. So how to sort the data to better analyze. So this is very good for our data analyst or the new analyst if you want to analyze the data, whether we have a good or not. How to filter the data from the different perspective. So if we filter the data to see what we really want to see the subset of the data without removing or duplicate any data. And then I also show you some of the advanced filtering, right? How to analyze the data. So that's very exciting today. And in this video, I'm using the Kaggle data set serials database. And don't worry, I'll put a link in the description, so you can just click the descriptions and download the data. Plus, I will leave the spreadsheet as well in the same folder, so you don't have to mug up everything. If you forget anything, just go and download the data, the CSV file, and then play with it, because more you practice, the more you learn, and the more you will excel. Okay, so without getting delayed, let's get started. So I already have my Excel open. So first thing, I'll show you how to import the data. So this data is in the file, right? And that's normally most of the time we have the data in the files when we need to import into the Excel and to analyze the data. So if you go to you have so many data tab, and now we need to work on this data, right? So if you notice, I have that like this text CSV and web and others. And if I click here, the get data, I have all these functionality. And don't worry, this is just a fancy way of Office 365 doing it. Even if you have let's say 2013 Excel or even old version, you always go to the data and there is an icon called import data or get data, right? Just look for the text or CSV file there, right? So if I go and click there, it asks me, okay, from which folder I need to go and grab the data, right? So I already have went to the it seems like it's already picked up my location, and this is the file. And this is the file. I put a link in the description folder, so you go there and use the same data for the practice. And if you stop somewhere, pause my video and try to practice together. And please do practice. Without practice, you can view it and easily forget. Okay, so I'll click I click this data, right, and do import. Now you see, okay, so this is my interface coming. So if you have Office 2013, it might looks different. It will ask you whether it's just a different representation. So what is the delimiter of the file? So what is delimiter? Delimiter means how this file is created. Is this a comma separated file or a PSV file or so on, right? So if I have, so this my file is extension is CSV, so I know this is already a comma separated file. But just open the file in the text pad and see what kind of a data it is, right? It is a comma separated, or it has a pipe, or sometime is like a tab space. So Excel, if you click here, Excel already has those option for you. Even if those options, if there is anything else special character which your IT team or somebody who providing the data provider has it, you can use the custom option and put that there as well. But for my case, I have the comma separated, and most of the time, honestly, I have seen is 80% almost the comma separated file, and rest of the case is mostly the pipe separated or the tab separated, right? So which we already have here. Okay, so don't need to worry. So let's get started. So once I do that, then it asks me to either in the old version maybe can ask you to import or to load. So I'll do the load to, right? And it's asked me whether you want a new worksheet. No, I want just to import onto the my same worksheet. Right now it's asking me here. Why? Because my mouse was here when I started, right? But I can easily click here and give the direction to the computer or to the software that no, I want to start from A1 and cell 1, right? So, and then I just do this OK, and boom, the magic happened. Wow, it looks so wonderful, right? Hopefully if you did it right, you will get this data. Don't worry about this fanciness. If you don't have this fanciness, because maybe this is of the Office 3 latest version of the software, it's very easy to do. I can show it to you right now, right? Go to the file, sorry, I always click there, right? File, home, go to the home and see this format as a table, right? This is nothing but what this new version does. It import the data, load the data into the Excel and pre-load as a table, formatted as a table, right? So if you don't have that option, maybe you are using the older version, no need. Just go to the home, click here, and then these are all the options. And you see, once I move the mouse, it automatically changes that format as a table, right? I can select any other format, like more greenish, whatever you want, right? These are all the formats what we have. Okay, I'm pretty happy with my if you want, please click anywhere and that's okay. Okay, so I do escape. Okay, now if you are following me correctly, let me put myself on hide because I want you to focus, don't want to cut any screen. Right now we have data loaded into the Excel. Good job. If you have did this so far, wonderful. Congratulate yourself. Give a thumbs up. You have achieved a major thing. This means you can load this data or any kind of a data into the Excel and start your analytic journey or the practical way of doing it. And we can also see how we can change the design of the data. And if you want to do nothing but just load the data and give it to your manager or somebody, right? It looks so nice, right? With the design as well. Okay. Okay. So now let's see. Okay. I have this data. I haven't touched this data. This is as it is how the Kaggle competition for the data analyst or scientists use the data. The reason I can also play and put the data, but I want to use as much close to the reality as possible, right? Because this is not a theory, this is applied. So that's why I have used those data. If I go downstairs, right? Put it down here to see, okay, so this data has 78 rows, right? And few columns, right? Up to here, P columns and A to P. Okay. Now next thing is, first thing always to look, and at least what we when we load the data, does this data is good quality data? How we find that is a good quality, right? One thing to look into this is, does it has any duplicates? The first check you must do, right? And remove any duplicate if it has. Okay, so let me show you how you do the duplicate data, right? So you come to the data tab again. All data related items is grouped under data. If you remember these ribbons, right? We want to remove duplicate from where? From the data. So that's why I have come to the data tab and click on this remove duplicate. Okay. So what happens, since we already load our data into the format table format, Excel already selected the whole range of my data. Okay. And this says, okay, my data has a header, like click, and these are the header names. Okay. Now I will show you how to, okay, now I'll do two kind of tests. First test is select all the columns, is all the columns to see if all the rows are unique or there are some duplicates there. Okay, so if I'll click OK and it says no, there is no duplicate value found when I select all the column. It looks exciting, right? So now I know all rows which I have been provided to me, or in case if I have loaded its data, is all good, is no duplicates there. But there might be certain case, right, where I don't want to use all the rows. I just want to use any particular column to see whether these columns are has duplicates or not. Okay, let's do a very remove duplicate test. So this time I unselect all. Okay, ready? Now what I'll do, I can easily see myself and say, okay, type C, or let's say the manufacturing, right? Or manufacturing. I select the manufacturing. I only want one record per manufacturer. I don't want to see all. Let's say this is maybe my case, right? You may have a different case. I just want to see one manufacturer. I don't want to see duplicates manufacturer, right? So I only select manufacturer and click OK. And you see it says there are 70 duplicate item found and remove, and only 7 remaining value, right? So you see now all of these items, right? Before we have 78 something, right? Including the header. But now I only have this duplicate being left by the manufacturing when I select, and I have only this thing left, right? So this way I use the column to remove the duplicate data. Okay, so let's undo my change because I want to work with the whole data set. That's just the functionality to select. What next? Next is okay, sort the data. What do you mean by sort the data? I want the data to view by my format, right? Let's say, for example, we have this data. Now see the basic test we have did it. So what is this data all about, right? Now because we know this data doesn't have duplicate, now it is the good data to think about. So it seems like this is more like a serial brands, right? Different serial brands, all brand, 100% brand, all brand, basic force and fall, right? I haven't analyzed this data honestly. I just picked it up randomly when I was looking and then got this data. Each brand has some manufacturer and has it shows some calories. Some has a high calorie, some has a low calorie, how much fat it is in, some has zero fat, and how much sodium level it is, right? So we know high some amount of sodium is not good for our health, right? Sugar, right? I don't know why they need to add sugar, how much sugar it has, right? And vitamins and weight and cups, right? It's measured by the cup, right? So this means 6, so I assume this is a spoons per only 0.33 cups, right? So not even 1. So that's very bad, right? And the ratings, right? Maybe somebody has providing the ratings on this data, right? So 6.8 and all, right? Okay, so this is, we know this is the basically the descriptions or the vitamins and minerals what it contain in the cereal. So this is what is data, and this data is, and this is almost about 77 cereals, right? Okay, so we need to sort this data, right? Like why? Yeah, it's because I want to see, let's say, the data based on which not just by, I want to sort by the name, right? If I want to see, okay, or by the manufacturer type, right? How many manufacturer people providing the data. So maybe I'll do that, or maybe I'll sort by the calorie, who has the highest calorie or who has the highest sodium, right? So many use case can be those likes, right? So let's try to take some examples. Okay, I'll show you first how to sort it by the name. Okay, so if I need to sort, there is a button here, right, to sort. If I click the button, it will give me the option, okay, that how sort by. So I select the drop down and add a name, right? And A to Z means is in ascending order, and Z to A means it's descending order. I'll leave it as it is, that I want to sort this by A to Z, and click OK. Okay, seems like the data is already now you see the icon change is upstairs, right? So I sort the data into the ascending order. So whenever you do ascending, the numbers come first, and then is A, B, and C, right? So data is just get sorted. Similarly, if I want to do the sort by the name and the manufacturing, okay, how to do that? It's very straightforward. Click on that sort button again, and this time we want to do name and add one more sort, right? First sort by name and then by the manufacturer type. Okay, so I keep the ascending order and click OK, and seems like the data is sorted. I think it doesn't look change, but if I want to, let's say I want to do the reverse, right? So what I'll do, I'll click here. First I want to do by manufacturing, and each manufacturing I want to see how many brand name it has, right? So I move it up. So I have the manufacturing by ascending orders, and then its name, right? What its name is belongs to, and click OK. Ta-da! So you will see here with this manufacturing A, I only have one Mapo brand, but with this manufacturing G, right, it has so many cereals. Seems like this company is making a lot of cereals. And same thing with the manufacturing K, and right. So these two companies are doing a lot of manufacturing, right? So this way I can sort the data. Okay, so now this we have learned to sort the data. The same thing goes to the filtering of the data, right? Right now the data is so big, right? I have 60, 70. What about if it has thousands, right? Or 10,000 rows or 100,000 rows, right? I cannot analyze this whole data in one shot. So for that, I need to filter the data to see the small set everywhere, to ensure this is good as per my expectation. Or maybe there might be the case I only wants to select only the subset of the data, right? Based on my criteria. It can be any criteria, right? So let's take another example, right? So here, how to filter the data, okay? So I'll clear the sorting before which I did it. So or the filtering might have anything. So let's take, I want to filter the data by only to see the subset of the data, right? So let's say I only want to filter it by the manufacturing G, right? So I click on this one, right? And there are so many there. So I click on select all. So now nothing is selected. And then I say, okay, let me select only the manufacturing G, and then click OK. And if you notice, all other rows were gone, right? Don't worry, it's not deleted. Because if you notice here, right, this is get hidden, right? Maybe I'll take you another example, because G is right at the top, right there, right? So if I take the K, maybe the K stand for Kellogg's, I'm just guessing. Here you see 1 to 25, because we have already sort the data by the manufacturing, so that's why the top one doesn't come here. So it start immediately to display the data by the number 20, row 25 to 47, because that's what the manufacturing stand for, right? And select this data to us, right? So that's easy. Now I don't distracted by any other manufacturer and just focus on the manufacturing K. So let's do some more. Let's say if I want to also filter this data more, right? I want to see how many of this manufacturers has a brand name, let's say start with reason, right? Or right, because it has some reason right here. So let's say, or contains reason, right? So I have I write RAISIN and enter, right? So when I do that, basically it's give me 3, right? So it's a very easy way to see that, okay, this 3 names has the raisins inside it under the manufacturing K, right? If I want to select, if I want to clear, and if I want to, then I just click here and then clear the button, right? But my K manufacturing is still there because I just removed the filtering for the K. Let me do one more time. Let me do all barn, or just do the barn, right? BRAN. I click here, right? Put it here, or there is a text filter here, right? So you can have a different option, like the text begin with or contain. So pretty much when you put it here in this search text, it's work as a contain. Okay. If I want to work with begin with, right? Let's say it should begin with all. So if I do all, it should only, and this shows all, right? It will only should give me these 2, or anywhere it says all, right? And okay, and you see it's giving me only the 2 serials which starts with all, and remove everything else. Okay, so I have shown you the good filtering based on the text, and now you can play with all other as well, right? I clear this. Okay, so maybe what I'll do, I'll create if you want to create a copy of it, right, then for you, so you can have a look later on. So okay, so this is the original, so I can rename this, right? This is the original. And if I click here and copy, create a copy, and then here I'll say filter text, right? So here I have filtered the text. Let me add the begin, and I leave this to you. So if you forget or something, you can always look into it. Or you know what, if I'll give you too much spoon feeding, maybe you just stop and watch it. So it's not, I'll just give you the data, right? But I just show you how it works. Otherwise it will be very slow. Okay, so this is my data. I change this as a data. I'll provide you data so you can watch it. This is not that hard. I think you can do it for sure. Okay, so this is the text kind of filtering. Let me show it to you how more. So I want to see, let's say from the number side, right? I want to see the numbers, right? Filter it by the numbers, right? Let me see, okay, maybe which has a 200 and if I want to see, let's say if I want to see something which has the sodium level of highest, right? 290 or 320, which is the highest. I click, select, unselect everything by checking this button, and then select only these 2. And if you see that when I only select only some, this select all buttons is, this square box is filled, and I click OK. So I have 3 serials which is has the highest amount of sodium, right? 290 and higher, right? So that's not good. And if I remove this, and similarly I leave this one and I want to select, right now it's I can see here, right, number 3, but I can also select the sugar which has the highest amount. If I remove this one, 2, uncheck it, and OK, then it further reduced my list. This means this is a worst cereal, Rice Krispies. Wow. Rice Krispie has in 1 cup has 290 sodium and 110 calories, but it has number 3 level of sugars. Okay, so that's what we have found, and this is very popular brand, honestly, with the kids. Let me show you something else. Remove this sodium, and I remove or if I want to remove all the filters, okay, So rather than individually doing, just now I did one, you click this button, clear filter. Once I clear it, my whole data will be coming back. Okay, now I'll show you some different kind of a filtering, more on the number filtering, because mostly you crunch the numbers and you need to look into that, right? So let's take some examples on the numbers kind of a filtering. So let's take the sugar, right? Because nobody wants a higher sugar now these days, especially for our kids, because kids this and as adult as well on the breakfast, right? We eat sugars. Okay, I have this sugar here, right? So it's a pretty big list, all right, 1 to 15. One way is, if I want the highest level of sugar, I can come here and select individually, right? Let's say 10, 11, 12, and you never know, right? Maybe that's too much, not good when we have a huge amount of data. Let's say this is only 78, but there may be any number, right, where it's over something. So one other way is you click on this number, right, and come up with these filters. See, we have more filters here, right? Greater than, less than, between. So let's take the greater than. So if I click on this greater than, and I only want which is greater than 10, right? 10, I assume is maybe it's the teaspoon or something. If I click this 10 and OK, it's giving me, I don't have to select all individually then, right? Or make a mistake, maybe I forget to select something. So this is more practical. So these are all the cereals which has the 10 or higher amount of a sugar, right? Let's pre-filter it. Let's say I can see some low sodium level as well, 45, 95. Let's take some sodium which is also very high, right? Let's take it greater than 100, right? And click OK. So what I did the same thing. Go to the, maybe I'll do slowly a little bit this time, number greater than, and then I put it 100. And now this is my worst list is coming. Okay, if you want a little bit honestly more worse thing, because these are more by 1 cups, and if you see these are more by these are less than a cup, right? In a cup weight, right? Because 0.750 weight is 1.3. Okay, so let's do a simple case which is not 1, right? If I select this, I don't want anything or maybe less than a 1, right? Because then what will come if I do that one? Okay, seems like this is not okay. I'll remove this filters. Okay, so this is how we can take this, right? This is how we can select the data. Okay, so rest up to you. You can how you want to play with the data. One more filter I want to show it to you. Okay, let's take, I only want the in here where, let's say I take something else, right? Where the carb is from, instead of like 12 to 16, right? I'll take the carb from 13 to 15, right? Within this range, right? So let's take that. So I'll click here, click on the number function, and this time I go to between. Between means your starting point and your end point, right? So basically I only want from 13, and it says greater than or equal, so it will include 13 and 15 or less than, right? Those are the carbs I only looking, and click OK. When I select this, based on my criteria, my list even shrink. So this is my data set based on my criteria. You can have any other data set based on your criteria and the filtering. So that's how you massage the data, to filter the data, to analyze the data. So this is not only we learn today, but we have learned more practical way, right? How to look using the real data set, analyze this data. And one thing, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. The more you subscribe, more you like, the more you share, it gives me the motivations to make more videos, right? So far you are at that stand, you can go and play with the data, right? At least manipulate the data, massage the data, in the next video and series, now I will jump more into the functions. We have seen some function in lecture 2, but I'll go to the more advanced level. But make sure you practice with me, right? If you practice and become so efficient, and if you have any questions, you don't get it, please do put in the comments, right? How to solve it out. And rather than me jumping it out solving, I ask other YouTubers who's learning as well, try to answer them. Okay, don't expect me, I'll answer for sure, but if you answer, then don't hesitate to see, maybe then this way you learn from each other. So let's have this Excel good network where we are helping the community help each others, and we learn. And for sure, if nobody answer, I'll try to answer. I have other YouTube channel as well, where I'll put my stock valuation picture, I'll put valuations where, and also do have some jobs. But try to check it out, like that channel if you like it, and see you in the next video soon. But don't forget to subscribe and give a thumbs up. Okay, see you, bye for now.